What's up, naturalistas, and welcome back to my channel. If you guys love my hair, be sure to check out the video on how I achieved this look. But today this video is going to be for how to get your natural hair care license. I've had a lot of views on my video on me getting my license, and I've had a lot of questions on how I did it. So I figured that I would make this video for anyone who's interested or for anyone who is going through the process. So be sure to tune in and like this video. A natural hair license means that you can do anything to the natural hair without chemicals. There's no relaxers, there's no cutting, there's no anything like that. If you want to do relaxers, if you want to work with chemicals, if you want to get into cutting people's hair, you need to go to cosmetology school, okay? If you want to do just box braids, locks, wigs, and things of that nature, then you can get your natural hair caring license. All of the information that I have found is on Google, so if you're interested in learning if your state has natural hair care schooling, please just go on Google and research for yourself. That is the best way to learn about things if you're interested. Do your own research and find out what will work for you. In order to receive your license, in order to be able to test for your license, you will have to go to school for 600 hours, which is about 2 semesters. So that is how you get your licensing in Illinois. Be sure to Google what schools offer it, and then you can sign up and go through schooling the regular way that you would. You can go to school in New York for natural hair care styling, and you have to go to school for 300 hours, which is about a semester, which is about 4 months. In North Carolina, that is where I personally went to school for natural hair care license. Woo, woo. And I went to school in Charlotte, North Carolina. You have to have 300 hours to be able to sit for your state board testing. And again, that is 4 months. You can clock in 30 minutes before your class starts. So if you clock in early, then you will be able to get time done quicker. And that is what I did. And I passed my state board test, all with flying colors. Make sure you guys check out that video on my YouTube, which is me getting my test and my actual first day of natural hair care school. So you guys can see a little bit more into how it is ran in North Carolina. But I really recommend you, if you're in North Carolina, to check out CPCC. That is where I went to school, and it was great. The 4th state is Tennessee. And for Tennessee, you have to have 300 hours as well, which we know is 4 months of schooling, usually about 4 months or just a semester. Now, Texas is a little bit different than the other states that we've talked about so far. If you're in Texas, you do not need any type of certification to do actual hair braiding. So if you're doing box braids, if you're doing cornrows, you do not require any type of certification to do this legally, but you are legally required to have a license to do hair weaves and wigs in the state of Texas. It is called a hair weaving license, and you have to go to school for 300 hours in order to be doing any types of hair weaving and anything like that. Now, the site that I was looking at for this information also had another 300 hours for doing wigs. So if you're interested in this, I really recommend you guys to research this for yourself. And again, this is only for the state of Texas. For California, there is no licensing needed to do hair braiding. So I am assuming that you can legally do, you know, hair weaving and wigs as well, because there was no distinction like there was in Texas. But I would go ahead and make sure that you contact your state board, or also research this so that you make sure that you are falling within regulation. And last but not least, we're going to get into Ohio. So Ohio doesn't have any natural hair care program available, but you can apply for a boutique registration license, and this will allow you to do makeup artistry, shampooing, and braiding. So before I moved to North Carolina, while I was still doing hair in Ohio, I was introduced to this type of licensing, and this was because I wanted to work in a salon. So the salon owner introduced me to this license and actually signed off on my hours so that I can have some type of certification while I was doing hair when I was still in college. So for this type of registration, you will need a certified salon to sign off on your registration. You know, just saying that yes, they have, you know, taught you a little bit, that you've been working with them and stuff like that, and just to give you some validity to your registration. Other than that, there is no required schooling or anything like that, and I want to say there was no fee either. I dropped it off in Columbus, which is where the state board is for Ohio, but it is just something that you can have to kind of have somewhat of a protection while you are doing hair. Again, it isn't a cosmetology degree. It isn't a natural hair care license. It's just saying that you can legally be braiding someone's hair in the state of Ohio. You know, you do want to have some type of legal protection when you're doing people's hair, because let me just say, doing hair is not the easiest profession. It is a people profession. You will have to deal with all types of people, which is another video. I will one day make a video just talking about how you can attract the type of clients that you want and how you can attract positive spirits to your chair. But for now, make sure that you are really being careful on who you choose to do as far as hair wise, and make sure you have some type of licensing moving forward on whatever you're doing. I know that a lot of states do not have regulations and do not have programs for natural hair care school. So if you are interested in doing natural hair, I would really recommend you guys to consider moving to one of the states I named, which are Illinois for 600 hours, New York for 300 hours, Tennessee for 300 hours, North Carolina for 300 hours, and Texas if you want to braid. There are no regulations. If you want to do hair weaves and wigs, you will have to go to school for 300 hours. And California has no regulations at all for hair braiding. I hope that I really helped to clear some things up, and that's pretty much how you get your natural hair care license. You have to be in a state that offers the program. You have to find a state accredited school, go to school for however amount of time is needed, and then you will have to go to your state agency and take the test. The test will consist of 2 parts, which are the practical exam, which is where you're actually physically showing them that you can perform natural hairstyles, and then the second part is a theoretical or theory test, which is basically making sure that you know everything or mostly everything that was taught in school to you about natural hair. So you're going to go over literally the history of natural hair, your sanitation, your anatomy. It's going to go over everything that you learned while you were in school. So again, there are 2 parts, and if you're in North Carolina, you will have to pass the theory test with, I want to say, a 75%, if not an 80%. I personally passed with a 95%, and I will be showing you guys what to expect on your test. So if you're interested, please go ahead, click the subscribe button and the notifications button, and I will be letting you guys know when the next video is posted for how to pass your natural hair care exam.